In the vastness of space floats a small blue planet, on which human beings have resided for about 2 million years. But compared to the planet's long history, 2 million years is a mere drop in the bucket. Right now we shall travel far, far into the past, to a time when human beings did not yet exist. This is the Asian continent, as it looked 80 million years ago. The dizzying peaks of the Himalayas had not yet been formed. It is a much simpler land, with Japan, Korea, and China forming a single indistinct mass. In the southern part of what will become the Korean peninsula, small lakes fan out from one big lake. And here we find the dinosaurs. Thanks to its temperate climate and vast lakes filled with clear blue water, Korea was the last paradise of the dinosaurs before they vanished during a period of mass extinctions, when dramatic geological changes swept the planet. And gradually scatters through the forest. As the sun creeps into the forest, the blood of Tarbosaurus, the young Pat shows no signs of it. He's still a mischievous and playful youngster. But this is not his lucky day. Patch finds himself facing down a velociraptor, an agile predator 2 meters tall with sharp, sickle-shaped claws. Once she catches you, there's little hope of escape. Her eggs have been stolen many times before, and this time she was ready to pounce on the thief. Patch knows he can't run away, so he tries to find shelter in the narrow space under a stump. One slice from the velociraptor's 10-centimeter-long claws will mean the end of Patch's short life. But his savior is not far away. Patch's mother is coming to the rescue. As soon as he hears his mother approaching, Patch makes his escape out the back of the tree stump. But Patch's escape route takes him right into the den of the velociraptors. It's only a matter of time before he is caught. Patch literally runs into his mother, a Tarbosaurus with a body 13 meters in length. The massive, dreadful Mother Tarbosaurus has no nemesis within this forest. But that doesn't mean the velociraptors will give up their prey so easily. The noisy and persistent velociraptors are like the hyenas of the forest. They try to separate Patch from his mother. The velociraptors are furious, having lost their prey when they were oh so close to catching it. $80 million years ago on the Asian continent, many kinds of amazing dinosaurs coexisted. The herbivore, 20 meters in length, was named Puyongosaurus after the Pugyong University in Busan, Korea. Another residence was Therizinosaurus, whose name means large sickle lizard. The Protoceratops was also found in wide numbers. The nest of the Tarbosaurus, the master of the dinosaur kingdom, is located in a... She can regurgitate up to 40 kilograms of meat at a time. Not all the siblings are invited to eat this bounty at the same time. There is a strict hierarchy that must be followed. The smallest can't even come close. He is prevented from even approaching by his two older brothers. If the youngest can't overcome this harsh treatment, he will slowly die of starvation. All day long, the young dinosaurs entertain themselves with play fighting. It's through this kind of practice that they will acquire the hunting skills that they need for their own survival. Through great maternal care, the mother dinosaur must nurture and teach her youngsters until they are able to hunt on their own and live independently. But not all of them will grow up to be ferocious beasts like their mother, except for those who are strong and lucky. Most will starve to death or end up as prey for other carnivores. The mother has gone out in search of another meal. She spots a Tarbosaurus. This dinosaur spends most of the day picking at leaves from trees. He must consume about 400 kilograms of leaves a day in order to maintain his enormous size. He may be a herbivore, but he is by no means an easy target. Though he spends most of his day peacefully munching on leaves, he can turn into a ruthless warrior if his territory is invaded. His 7-ton weight and his 3 70-centimeter-long claws give him the power to take down even a Tarbosaurus. They each try to intimidate the other with their roars, but in the end they choose not to fight. These strong beasts don't recklessly pick fights unless there is a good reason. The air around the lake is refreshing, with just the right amount of humidity. The wind carries with it warm air mixed with the balmy smell of leaves. It is rejuvenating. One of the creatures enjoying the warm breeze and the lift of the airstream is Tarbosaurus, flying reptiles called Hainamnichnas. The age of the dinosaurs saw many flying creatures. But unlike the Tarbosaurus, this one was unique for its webbed feet. It was discovered near the town of Uhongni, Haenam County, Korea. It is from this location that the latest addition to the pantheon of Tarbosaurus gets its name. With all the velociraptors around, mealtime will be anything but peaceful. In the end, they don't need to worry. When the earthbound predators start to come, the Tarbosaurus simply flap their long wings and take flight. The dinosaurs ruled the earth for about 165 million years. During that reign, the Tarbosaurus were the emperors of the sky. Meanwhile, at this very moment, danger lurks around Patch and his 2 siblings. A roving male Tarbosaurus is approaching their home. The hungry Tarbosaurus is overcome by instinct and won't hesitate to devour the young of its own species if they are not his own offspring. In fact, such cannibalism helps him gain an upper hand in the competition for food. And most of all, it's a chance to eliminate future rivals. Fortunately for Patch and his siblings, this would-be attacker is old and sick, and his sense of smell has become dull. He turns away, looking for a warm place in the sun to sleep away his exhaustion. Though he has given up the hunt, this is a tense moment for Patch and his siblings. But the tension doesn't last long. Their young mother hurries back to her nest after hearing the cry for her kids and smelling the predatory outsider. A fierce confrontation erupts between these two titans. It quickly becomes clear who the winner would be. The tired, old, hungry dinosaur that wandered here is no match for the young and healthy mother, Tarbosaurus. It's over for now, but this predator will likely return, now that he knows where this nest can be found. The mother Tarbosaurus has no choice. She must find a safe new home for her offspring. Patch must now leave his forest home, the place of memories and excitement where he encountered the sleeping beauty Microraptor and was chased by the predatory Velociraptor. This is how he came to find himself in a wild and harsh world. Patch begins to see that this is a new and dangerous world, very different from the relatively safe environs of his forest home. As the dry season begins, the forest begins to wither as the temperature climbs to 50 degrees Celsius. It is a difficult time. Patch and his siblings have grown to 1.5 meters in length. Despite their increase in size, they haven't eaten anything for the past week. During this period of growth, starvation is a more serious matter than the oppressive heat. The mother musters what she can and heads off for a hunt. The home of the Protoceratops is located on the outskirts of the forest. They live in groups and eat tree roots or insects found on the ground to scrounge for food. The Protoceratops, around 2 meters tall, is sometimes known as the pig of the dinosaur era. Even when prey seems easy pickings, a predator on the prowl must focus its attention on the hunt. The mother Tarbosaurus has chosen her target. It is the one off by itself, trying to take a mud bath and avoid the annoying flies. For the mother to be successful, she must be extremely cautious. At this moment, danger is approaching Patch and his siblings, who are anxiously awaiting the meal their mother will bring. It is the return of the vicious velociraptor, always making trouble for Patch. Patch and one of his younger siblings quickly hide behind some bushes. But the youngest sibling is caught up with chasing a dragonfly. He has no idea what's going on. After waiting patiently, the mother Tarbosaurus makes a move. Her heavy frame shakes the ground as she rushes towards her prey. But the Protoceratops are not an easy target. What they lack in size, they make up for in speed and agility. Exhausted from the heat, the 7-ton Tarbosaurus can't run for very long. Owing to her massive size, her bones could break or her heart explode. Back at home, an even bigger problem is waiting for her. The youngest one is in trouble and it's too weak to fend for itself. In the end, it is sacrificed to the velociraptors. The dry season has left the land parched, and the mother has become too weak to look after her remaining young. But even as a sign of hope, after 6 long months, the seemingly endless dry season has come to a close. The thirsty forest is once again damp and vivacious. Myriad waterfalls rejuvenate every inch of the forest as they steadily flow downward. The wind carries the fragrance of the forest to faraway places. Even in this desolate land, the profound vitality of nature brings new wonders to bear. These creatures have traveled over 1,000 kilometers across bleak terrain to the north. Led by a biological compass in their brains, instinct has led them to this land, and that is now softened by the rain. Tarbosaurus, herbivorous dinosaurs that travel in herds like today's wildebeests, are 10 meters in length and weigh over 4 tons. Moving in large numbers in search of substantial quantities of food can make them easy targets for predators. The mother Tarbosaurus knows from decades of experience that this is the best area for hunting. Unfortunately, her youngsters have gone with little or no food for so long that they are having difficulty keeping up with their mother. Even before they arrive, their competitors are already on the move. Like today's hyenas, the velociraptors are quite good at group hunting. The Tarbosaurus family must hurry if they don't want to lose out in this competition for food. But there's something wrong with Patch's sibling, who is falling behind. Finally, he collapses from thirst, hunger, and exhaustion, just a few miles from food. After 10 days of starvation in the bitter heat, this young dinosaur has collapsed. Patch turns around to go check on his brother, but his mother cold-heartedly urges him to keep on moving. Being king of the dinosaurs means cruel decisions like this. The brother left behind will die alone from thirst and starvation, if not killed by other predators. On such long journeys, at least one will fall behind. They become easy targets for the predators found all around them. These velociraptors have been waiting for just the right moment. These highly organized and skillful hunters brandishing deadly sharp claws. Directed by their leader like a military operation, Velociraptor's shock troops rush toward the target. These patient, careful planners deftly know where to go from their attack positions, and they never rush to judgment. After figuring out their condition of the target, the frontline velociraptors block any escape route. This causes their prey to slow down. After this, a few other velociraptors surround it and cut off any chance of retreat. Their helpless target is now trapped. He may be bigger, but it will be difficult to escape this siege. Tarbosaurus turns back to avoid confrontation with the vicious velociraptors, but this was part of their plan. The bravest have set up an ambush and are waiting their chance to pounce. Now that they smell blood, the vicious velociraptors become even more tenacious and excited. The velociraptors know how hard it is to take down such a colossal creature, but if they keep taking shots, their persistence will pay off and it will collapse on its own. That's how they hunt. In the end, their leader is the one who gives the final blow. But the Tarbosaurus's 1,000 kilometers search for prey is all for naught. With this new turn of events, their victory proves short-lived. The mother, Tarbosaurus, rushes towards the quarry as if it had belonged to her all along. She has already lost her second child to starvation, and she's not afraid of anything. Watching from a distance, Patch's experience in the wild shows him one thing. The law of nature is clear that only the strongest will survive. The sun, the sky, the clouds, the wind, the trees. Mother Nature gave birth to life and nurtured it here in East Asia. Dinosaurs lived in this place for 165 million years. They never truly ruled nature, but merely lived as one part of it. Five years have passed, and Patch's body has grown to 5 meters in length. From a distance, the forest seems calm, but within its confines is an unending struggle for survival. This peaceful Protoceratops is struck down by a ferocious meat-eater. It is the Tarbosaurus, the last king in the age of the dinosaurs. 80 million years ago, the land would become the Korean Peninsula was the dinosaurs' last paradise. Thanks to a moderate climate and lush forests, there was a wide range of carnivorous and herbivorous dinosaurs. These included the Bogué, the Tarbosaurus, and clever velociraptors. Although Patch the Tarbosaurus was destined to become prince of his primeval kingdom, he hasn't led an easy life. One sibling was devoured by a velociraptor when his mother was off hunting. And his other sibling died of starvation during a period of heat and famine. In the wild of nature, only the strong and fit are able to survive, and those that survive may live to rule their domain. After a childhood filled with hardship, Patch's first hunt is a success. But that momentous occasion means it is time to leave the protection of his mother. It is time for Patch to stand on his own 2 feet and face the destiny that nature has laid out for him. The time is 80 million years ago, in the late Cretaceous period. This is the lake in the southern reaches of the land that would eventually become Korea. A herd of towering dinosaurs gathers around the lake. Even their mundane activities are a spectacle to behold. These colossal creatures are Tarbosaurus. These 10-meter-long creatures spend most of their day eating to maintain their 5-ton mass. They are the most prolific of all the dinosaurs in this era. The key to their prevalence is a dietary habit peculiar to these dinosaurs. Before the Cretaceous period, herbivorous dinosaurs simply swallowed leaves whole, but the Tarbosaurus has developed hundreds of molars inside their mouth, which is shaped like a duck's beak. This evolutionary improvement enables them to chew the vegetation, allowing them to absorb more nutrients and thus be more successful at survival and breeding. But lest they overpopulate the land, nature has its own way of reining in the Tarbosaurus. Its predators. The fearsome-looking Tarbosaurus is Patch, the king of this forest. He is now 15 years old and has grown up to be a formidable predator. He homes in on his usual target, the careless one that has wandered off from the rest of the group. When on the prowl, Patch never rushes. His opponents usually post lookouts in this vicinity. If Patch is spotted, the lookout will alert the others through a shrill noise produced by the 40-centimeter protuberance on its head. Fortunately for Patch, the lookout hasn't noticed him yet. Patch's target doesn't sense the danger nearby and instead focuses on drinking up the water. It's a golden opportunity for Patch to snatch up his next meal. The prey struggles in vain. Once caught, no creature can escape the 7 tons of pressure from the jaws of the Tarbosaurus. His 60-strong teeth are like hooks boring into flesh. "80 million years ago in primeval Asia, this violent display represented the majesty of the Tarbosaurus, one of the most dreadful carnivores to walk the earth. The other Centosaurus wailed at the sight of their friend's death. But their plaintive cries are nothing more than background noise to Patch. He is starving and needs all the nutrition he can muster now, so that he can survive the harsh, dry season that will soon be upon them. Patch can eat hundreds of kilograms of meat at a time. He can rip off more than 20 kilograms in one bite. By now, the smell of blood has wafted through the forest. The hungry velociraptors won't miss this opportunity. The velociraptors live and hunt in packs. They never pass up an opportunity to invite themselves to a feast. But even these unwelcome guests respect Patch's royal position. They know they must wait for this king of the dinosaurs to finish his meal before they start theirs. Having consumed a whopping 200 kilograms of flesh, Patch will be able to go for more than a week without hunting. Patch has been having a lucky day. Likewise for velociraptors, who can now devour this bounty. Patch's Tarbosaurus ancestors have lived in this place for more than 10 million years. And Patch's descendants will follow in their footsteps for 10 million more, carrying on the mighty role of king of the primeval forest. These master dinosaurs choose a spot with the best view of the lake and a few hundred square kilometers that surround it. It's a privileged position for the ultimate rulers of this ancient kingdom. A Hainamnickness takes advantage of the air blowing across the lake. With a wingspan of 12 meters, no bird in history was ever this large. Yet it weighs only 70 kilograms. His bones are hollowed out, allowing him to easily take flight. He is able to snatch up fish with his beak, and the flexible movement of his wings allows him to gracefully fly to any point in the world. Their flight may be graceful, but one by one they come in for an awkward landing. They typically live on worms and clams found in these mudflats. They have a unique way of moving on land. They may appear to be walking on their two webbed feet, but they're also crawling along using their 4 feet located in the middle of their wings. The unique quadrupedal stance is found only with this species, discovered near southern Korean's Haenam County. That's why their scientific name actually sounds more Korean than Latin. The forest is getting greener and greener. Amongst this emerald hue, however, a revolutionary biological event is taking place. It is the advent of flowers. Flowers ended up playing a crucial role in the spread of broadleaf plants and grass into environments once dominated by conifers. As the flowers bloom, it is a sign that love is also in the air. When it's time to mate, the male Protoceratops tries to attract females by showing off the large frill on its head. For Patch, this season signals a long and lonely journey. Since he alone dominates such a wide swath of territory, he must travel quite some distance to find a female with whom to mate. Since male Tarbosaurus outnumber females, the males must go through a fierce competition in order to win the affections of a female. They roar at each other and even peck with their duck-like bill. The more vicious ones might even lash their competitors with their tail. All the while, the females quietly wait for the winner to see who will be their partner. In the end, the young, impatient male walks away after being defeated by the more experienced and skillful elder. It has already been a week. Patch has walked many miles searching for a mate. He is suffering from an oppressive combination of hunger, thirst, and heat. A flock of hyena mechnus is resting. They have briefly halted their flight in order to quench their thirst. Once they have had their fill, they resume their long journey. When breeding season approaches, they know by instinct that it is time to leave. They return to a place thousands of kilometers to the south, to the beach where they were born. But the world they pass over seems neither peaceful nor safe. Already they are indications of geological change, a prescient sign of the dinosaurs' pending extinction. Indeed, their demise is like a ticking time bomb. They have reached their destination. They don't mind this long and difficult odyssey, for it has brought them to where they can easily find a mate and a safe place to breed. Those who have managed to occupy favorable spots have already laid their eggs and are waiting for them to hatch. This is a sad state of affairs. Most of the eggs have gone bad because of volcanic gases sweeping over the area. But thousands of kilometers away, the land of Korea still remains safe. Patch has spent 15 days looking for a mate, but his quest so far is a failure. The long trek and lack of sustenance has made him weak. He can barely move and just waits as time passes. But then at that moment, he detects the sound of a female on the opposite end of the forest. The roar is music to his ears. After searching hundreds of kilometers of forest, he had become desperate, but now he has found a mate. Throughout the mating season, the Tarbosaurus has been agitated and aggressive. But with his future mate, he has turned into a gentle giant. They display their interest by sniffing each other and rubbing their faces. But this budding romance is shattered by a dramatic turn of events. Another male has heard the roar of the female. He too rushes in to claim his mate. A duel is inevitable. Each is aware of the deadly arsenal the other possesses, so they hesitate to attack. Instead, they first study each other carefully. It is obvious from his scars that Patch's opponent is a veteran of quite a few fights. They are the mark of the one who has survived many a fierce battle. But his experience works against him. He gets cocky and underestimates Patch. When this would-be suitor gets distracted by the female, Patch jumps at his chance to attack. In the end, Patch's youthfulness wins over his veteran's opponent's skill. The female approaches Patch to offer her congratulations. This is her way of showing she approves of Patch as a mate. After a long and arduous journey, Patch and his new wife come back to his nest. She will soon lay eggs that, with love and nurturing, will hatch into baby dinosaurs in about 2 months. But somewhere far from this land, a tragedy unfolds that will seal the fate of the dinosaurs. There are signs of massive explosions that are changing the shape of the Earth's surface. The collision of the Indian subcontinent with the Asian mainland is leading to the formation of the Himalayas. This uprooting of the crust has caused many peaks to explode into mountains of fire. The dinosaurs are helpless in the face of natural disasters like these. Many perish when they are buried in ash and volcanic debris. Those that survive struggle to hold on to their nests. The number of eggs also drops dramatically. The Velociraptor is committed to making sure her offspring survive. After 2 months of care and patience, she notices a little movement. Despite the difficulties going on around her, the Velociraptor has managed to bring a valuable new life into the world. In Patch's forest, signs of natural disasters are beginning to show up here as well. This peaceful area and its surroundings have been devastated. Patch and his wife produce only 2 offspring. These hatchlings, like any other newborn dinosaur, focus entirely on playing and having fun. But as they grow up, they will face more hardship than their predecessors ever imagined. For starters, they will have to endure a dry season that is becoming more severe as the climate changes. It is the Tarbosaurus that first notices the beginning of the dry season. For the past 6 months, they've been fat from the bounty around them. By instinct, they follow the scent of the rain, which will take them on a northward journey of thousands of kilometers. Their old home is quickly deteriorating as volcanic activities accelerate the destruction of the forest. It is becoming more and more difficult to hunt outside the forest. But inside the forest there are still plenty of trees, seemingly less affected by the volcanic activity. They come across a Dinosaurus. Patch recalls several encounters with this creature in the past, and right now he doesn't want to start any trouble by picking a fight. While the parents are away on a hunt, the youngsters have become completely engrossed in chasing down a dragonfly. Their play may seem random and pointless, but actually it is through this process that they hone their predatory instincts and skills. Patch and his wife have found their prey. As a team, Patch and his mate will demonstrate a different hunting pattern from what they would do if they were attacking solo. The Protoceratops seem not to have noticed the predators at all. It is at this moment that Patch launches his attack. With all the speed he can manage, the Protoceratops tries to flee, but he never imagined he would be galloping into an ambush. But back at home, Patch's 2 hatchlings have drifted away from their nest while chasing that elusive dragonfly. And in doing so, they have wandered into the territory of the vicious velociraptors. Full of fear, they cry out to their mother. Patch and his mate hear the cries of their young. But these same cries expose them to their enemies. In one fell swoop, the Velociraptor snuffs out the life of one of these hatchlings. The other is shocked but runs away as fast as he can. But he runs into another predator that is waiting for him. The claws of the Tarbosaurus pierce the youngster's body. No longer hearing the cries of their young, Patch and his mate split up to search for their children. Patch is too late. His child is already being devoured by the Dinosaurus. Patch threatens his enemy with a loud roar, but the Dinosaurus has swallowed his quarry. He seems proud of his violent act and he's ready to fight. Patch trembles with rage. Patch is impatient, which causes him to lose control. He falls to the ground after one blow. His ribs and legs, which support his 7-ton weight, may be broken. Nevertheless, he musters his strength to get up again and face his nemesis. This is an inevitable showdown between the two strongest dinosaurs in the forest. In the end, Patch was victorious over the Dinosaurus that killed his baby, but his victory comes at a painful cost: broken bones and wounds that run deep into his flesh. Patch knows how dangerous it is to have such injuries in the forest. In an act of evolutionary pragmatism, his mate leaves him to find a healthier male. And the scent of blood from his wounds has begun to attract the velociraptors. He was once king of the forest, but now Patch must accept the sorrowful fate laid out before him. Painfully and slowly he drags his shattered body to the lake. He sips the water as if he is kissing the same Mother Nature that nurtured him all these years. With ne'er any energy left, he collapses onto the ground. With just a short time left, this proud dinosaur that once commanded the forest bids his final farewell to the land. This is how Patch met his end. Patch walked the earth 80 million years ago. The night sky he saw for the last time still remains today.